99% of those arrested for kidnap business are Igbos, and that has sent a lot of shockwaves across town. All right, let me see if I can grab that video for you. Hopefully, we have that come on board.
I've been in office for three years and 3 months. Okay, if we have arrested 100 criminals, non-mafia, kidnappers, and so on and so forth, 99.99% of them will mark Igbo. Did you hear me right? I said 99.99% of them will mark Igbo. So these things are unmade because that was part of the lie that was put in propaganda. They are into kidnapping because it is the next lucrative business after Yahoo and drug. The next one for find is about kidnapping. Omaka, and this is even other states. If an acquire we do all Anambra. Onye nke na village fa ogote motorcycle ajoin California or ja 18 year na line. Akwali abai mafia kuma how to ifa. Iji dey also on the Fulani. Let me I repeat, and I want you to quote me right. 99.99% of all the criminals, kidnappers, and so on that were arrested so far, Igbos are the ones kidnapping Igbos. They are the ones killing Igbos. All these camps. Igbo. And by the way, because I came with the same false narrative. The false narrative that the Fulanis, they are invading our people. They are now everywhere. They are waiting for whistle to be blown. And they will take over. And therefore, we are the ones who are the liberators. We are now going into the bush to go to chase out the Fulanis. Nobody asked the question. They are now banning mafia to go and liberate you. How do they feed 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year? How do they feed? How do they feed? So that's, you see, I like I said, I'm one of you, but I decided to go home. Actually, in '99, I was a visiting professor at Swarthmore College. Okay? And I remember the last conversation of the Governor sent them forth, because from there I moved down here to DC, to the World Bank, where I spent 18 months. I was just living and they were having a set forth party. And I remember the chairman of the department wishing that I
Okay, so the governor of Anambra State is stating clearly that
the big question here is how do you know Bola Tinubu very well? You know the APC as president
who have done what they have done, the kidnapping in Anambra is actually Umakibo, meaning that it's people from Anambra States, and it's quite stunning. You know, I've said this over and over again, that look, like it or leave it, there's no way somebody will come into your home, kidnap you, or come into your abode, or come into your society or your environment, your system, and take people through routes, through roads, through farms. Nobody will see them, and get them into the bush without collaborators from locals, it's not possible. And the Anambra State governor has just confirmed it. And these are the things that I keep saying, especially what is going on in Ehamufu. How can somebody say, how can you claim that people will come into a town, kill people, and run away? Run through where? Run through which land, which farm? There's no way you can't see these people. But it's just that there are locals who are involved in this thing. even if you can't say, it's all true, because we know that there are Fulanis that are attributed to, these kidnapping using AK-47 and all that. But for Anambra State, for him, he is saying that Igbos are the ones who are evil. But I also understand that there's no way there will not be collaborators. There's no way there will not be, amongst them, people who are showing them the road to pass through, the road to go through in order to get to a certain destination. So I know a lot of people who have been reacting to this particular story, which has been stunning, really, about the reaction, because you are not the one who is the state government. You're not the one who was arresting these people. You're not the one who is moving around. Anambra State governor is not looking to be in the good books of a northerner to be liked, or to be in the good books of a Fulani man to be liked. He's just stating the facts in his state. It might be different for Enugu. It might be different for Abia. It might be different for Imo. It might be different for different parts of the country. So if it is different, then if this is the test case, I think everyone would just have to look inwards and see how they can solve the problem using local security, apparatus, which is a vigilante. And I think we need to empower them. We need to use them more often so as to contain the menace that we are facing today. But it's a good reveal. I think other governors in the South should also do the same. Check with the amount of persons who have been arrested, and hopefully, we're looking forward to solving the problems of insecurity headlong. All right. Remember, you can drop a comment. I would love to hear from you, as always, wherever platform that you are on watching this. And now to the next story, which is Kenneth Okonkwo. Kenneth Okonkwo has stirred the honest net, and it is quite an interesting conversation that he had with Sheon Kimbala of Channels TV. He's saying that he's going to back a northerner because that's the only person, as it stands, that would win outrightly against Tinubu if northerners decide to back him up. So he's given his reasons, and I'm sure that some of you will be stunned at some of the things that he has said. But let's just play it back and have you watch it so that we can take it up from there. All right. We are back afterwards. Let's see what happens after now.
The big question here is, how do you know Bola Tinubu very well? Yes. You know the APC as presently constituted. How do you want to defeat that tendency in our political climate at the moment in 2027?
Now, it is a very easy thing if people will yield to strategy and not sentiment. Give Bola Tinubu his own style, his own strategy, and he's back to Bodilon. What did Bola Tinubu do in 2015? He went to the north, picked a man that he knows that all the northerners are in support. As at that time, Bola Tinubu wanted to be president because he said it's his lifetime ambition. But he knew that if he, as a southerner, tries to take out an incumbent southerner, he will fail, because nobody has succeeded from the same section of the president, incumbent, to take out an incumbent president. He went to the north and brought a man that he knew that all the northerners are supporting. And when he brought him, any combination from the south took out Jonathan, and he bided his own time, and he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be my condition to the northerners. It must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an Atiku.
If the whole north is willing to support an Atiku, why not?
Or a Tambuwal.
If the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you.
But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari, a 4 years, if the case is the way you have put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in the rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking? Would that be a fair game?
Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify. The term of the president is 4 years, not 8 years. According to Alex Ekweme, what they agreed initially is that this post will be rotated amongst the geopolitical zones for 4-year term. And it will, in 24 years, it will have completed. But when Obasanjo came in, that was why Ekweme contested for 2003 election. That was when he said it. When Obasanjo came in, he took 8 years. But what happened? When Yar'Adua came in, before he finished one term, he died in office. Did they not insist that he must finish his 8 years? The answer is no. You know why? It is one term for the president, and the 8 years is for the incumbent. If the incumbent is doing well, if there is a supervening event that stops an incumbent halfway, the other half is there for every Nigerian to contest. And if it goes to the other side will now spend 4 years. That was what happened between Yar'Adua and Goodluck Jonathan. Yar'Adua spent 4 years. Just take it 4 years. Of course, you know he died before the 3rd year. And then it was a supervening event that did not allow the incumbent to finish the 8 years. What happened? Goodluck Jonathan came. The North said, please, let us finish our 8 years. They said, no, it's a joint ticket. Something has happened. And this is the vice president. Treat it as a joint ticket. Let them divide the position now into half. 4 years for the North, 4 years to the South. And after, it will come back to the North to finish its 8 years. And that was what happened. Even when Jonathan wanted to now continue to do 8 years, the North said no. That will now be injustice. And they fought, and they took it back to the North. And the North finished 8 years. Now it is back to the South. And Tinubu has become incurably bad. And now you want to terminate his incumbency. Anybody telling you that it's injustice, if the North comes in, if the South comes in, and whoever wins in a primary election will take it for 4 years. Where is the injustice? It has happened before. So, and anybody telling you to bring a fresh Southerner to compete against Tinubu, a Southerner, is trying to tell you to zone the ticket to Tinubu, and Tinubu will win outrightly.
So you are saying that invariably that Tinubu's possibility of becoming or being re-elected in 2027
yes,
is incumbent on the opposition fielding the same candidate from the same zone. But that if the opposition wants to beat Tinubu and the APC,
yes,
the candidate must come from the opposite zone.
Absolutely. And I'll give you the reason. In 2019, the opposition wanted to use Atiku with Obi to beat an incumbent Northerner who had just done 4 years. Did they succeed? No, they failed. And what happened? Tinubu, strategically, in 2015, he used a Northerner to remove an incumbent Southerner. Did he succeed? Yes. Because that is
he conceding to the fact that the North has a more political weight in the power game?
No. Let's look at it this way. Somebody from your zone, if you listen to Olufalaye said his election was rigged. But immediately the people rigged him out. They prevailed on him that he is a fellow Yoruba person that he contested with. Why not let him leave it? We have not had a good electoral system. This election is going to be written, like I've always told you, in 2027. They have already prepared it. Have they done electoral? Yes, have they done.
Do you have evidence to that?
No, I told you 2023 there was technical glitch, and they have not given us the excuse till today. Technical glitch, by my own definition, is the process of suspending an election so that you can write it instead of transmitting it. And there is no assurance that you do not have in 2027.
If you say that
if they write the 2027 and is a fellow Southerner that you're competing with, they will prevail on you. Please leave him. He's your fellow Southerner. And then that is how they will steal the election. So if you bring somebody from the Southeast, even if you win, they will steal it from him. Let me tell you the strategy that will make the Southeast man to be president. Do you know the Southwest has never contested election against an incumbent? Strategy. Because they know in Nigeria, if you don't have the establishment supporting you, even if you win, they will steal it from you. Olufalaye said it was stolen from him. If you ask me, I will say we won the election in 2023. It was stolen from us because we didn't have.
We won the election.
That's my belief. In 2023, I believe it. But they stole it from us.
Let me ask
and
you.
If you do it again, they will steal it again from you because there is no incumbent to back you. But if you bring somebody from the north, nobody will prevail on him to leave his victory
quickly
because because he's not from the same side with you.
Yeah, quickly. How do you then tell Nigerians that the ruling party has said these people are spent, they've been in power? What new thing do they want to bring? How do they defend the failures of the past government, which they were part of? Some past governors, past ministers. How do you defend that the failures of this country in the past, you are coming and you say you want to redeem it? Would Nigerians believe the coalition and some of the elements in it?
Okay, let me give you an example. The worst of PDP now has become better than the best of APC. Assuming you talk about an Atiku, if he can take us to Obasanjo days, are we not going to celebrate? Assuming. Because the performance of APC has beatified. PDP has beatified. Whoever served, for instance, in Obasanjo's government, they paid off all our debts. You remember? And we were not owing. APC has borrowed Nigeria into about 177 trillion naira in debt without nothing to show for it. We are enjoying darkness, not light. We have told you now, people cannot fly to go and come back. I've told you how flawed. Took away 500 persons in Niger State. The president has not gone to commiserate with them. I've told you how 500 persons were roasted by terrorists in Benue State. Now, if you get a president, assuming who was with Obasanjo, there was no security problem then. We were moving in the right direction. No debt, our economy became the largest in Africa. Assuming, wouldn't you be happy?
Right.
So when they say the same old people, please, APC should stop lying.
All right.
Okay, so Kenneth Okonkwo is clearly supporting Atiku for the coalition. So let's just take some of the reactions that we have gotten on social media. Kidnappers says he's not saying it to provoke any of you. It's facts. The Tinubu government you are willing to challenge won't give up power easily. You have to be willing to fight for it. But Peter Obi isn't the type to cross that line. Therefore, the Tinubu government will go to any lengths to maintain its power. Politics isn't about sympathy. It's a good point. It's a good point, really, and I'm sure you know that would be met with so many reactions. Mangidi says he's still living in bondage. D. Gotti says he's actually making up good points. Adewale says, why am I thinking this guy works for APC? Is DSG says, so sky go fall if the whole North follow supports Southerner. So another way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it. I mean, if you look at the history of Igbos have supported people who they feel are good enough. Igbos supported Yaradua, remember? Igbos supported Yaradua to become the president of the country. Igbos supported Obasanjo. They voted him to become in fact, the Southwest did not even vote OBJ. So you could say, yes, Igbos did not support Buhari because they felt Buhari wasn't competent enough. And truth should be told, he wasn't. Igbos does not support Atiwaju Bola Tinubu because they also feel that he's not competent enough. And it's showing that he's not competent enough. They went with Peter Obi, which, you know, by all standards, giving antecedents of what played out in terms of achievements in Lagos as governor of Lagos State for Asiwaju and governor of Anambra State. The indices are there. You could tell that Peter Obi did better, you know, than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if you look at the whole thing, Igbos want the best for the country, but I mean, for other part of the country, it does feel like they just want people who are theirs to be there, or almost all the time. And every time that Igbos are voting people of their own, especially 2023 election, they tend to target tribalism, forgetting that Igbos actually did vote for Northerners at the time, vote for Yorubas at the time, and so why wouldn't a Northerner, for instance, support an Igbo man to become the president if they so want it? And if they truly don't want it, then let Asiwaju continue and does his extra 4 years. And one thing I also have to say, Atiku has been contesting since 2023. No, since 2003, actually. Since 2003, this is almost 20 years now. And what is wrong if he stays another extra 4 years, support Peter Obi, and come unopposed in 2031? What is wrong with that? Because, I mean, if he takes over in 2027, you don't expect him to drop power in 2031, or maybe in 2034. I mean, look at it. Let's a Southerner completes that tenure for 4 years, and then he takes over in 2031. If you have been contesting since 2003 up until now, what is wrong with just staying just 4 more years to achieve this goal of getting an Igbo man to become the president? And of course, the Igbos will never forget you. And there's this underlying thought that the Northerners don't want the Igbos to emerge as president. And if truly they refuse to give or to elect Peter Obi as the candidate for the coalition in 2027, it's going to be quite difficult for a Southeasterner or a Southwesterner, a Southerner to vote a Northerner. It's going to be quite difficult. I really don't know how to put this, but that is, the fact, So sentiment aside, yes, they could have the numbers, but no. What happened in 2023 has showed us that times is not even about those things. It's also about strategy. If they had been if Atiku had been strategic, I mean, we know that we are sure that 2031 he is going to have it. But now this is where we are. Tech Overwatch says he's telling you all that he has finally aligned with Atiku. Atiku is his candidate. That's the conclusion of this whole conversation. The King Talk Fab says, I always learn a lot when this man speaks. Only time I pay deaf ears if he speaks against Peter Obi. There's no way you would speak against that man that there wouldn't be emotions. It's just grace of God. That wants him to lead. He must lead and win. Let's keep sentiments aside, but this is just the honest truth for those who understand politics. He speaks with intelligence and strategy. This one says, I also agree with his submission. To remove the Tinubu from office, you need a candidate who is very popular from the north. If you are awake now, say thank you, Jesus. So this one says, you said it all. Sentiments aside, Peter Obi can't win against Tinubu if coalition presents him. Atiku can strategically do that if he does win. All right. That's it. I want to appreciate every one of you. Drop your comments if you will. I will always love to hear from you with all of what we have done today. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you can get across to me via text or WhatsApp on 0808-838-1010. That's 0808-838-1010. Many thanks for being there. I'll see you in the next one tomorrow morning, 7:30. Don't miss it. I'm Charles. This is Cheezy Media. Many thanks.